Well, good afternoon. Welcome to Northern Maine Productions. It is Saturday, May 2nd, 2026. Just wanted to address a couple of questions maybe that some of you might have about my motivation for working on this very derelict old Snapper 30083. Probably you're asking, why in the world would you ever go through all that effort to restore something that derelict? I mean, I don't know if you guys can see the engine here or not, but that engine's a good representation of what the whole machine looked like. Sat outside, abandoned for 30 years. Let me explain my motivation here just briefly. So, most of you are probably mechanics that are watching this. Let me ask you this. I'm an automobile mechanic. That's what I do for a living. I don't have any of the vehicles that I had as a young man when I was in high school. They're all gone. They're in the junkyard. They're long gone. I absolutely do not remember if I have ever worked on a vehicle that I worked on 30 years ago. I don't think I have. Maybe one time, but boy, it's been a long time. So that is my motivation for this machine. You see, when I was in high school, I worked in a local repair shop that sold lawnmowers, and we worked on service lawnmowers and snowmobiles and snowblowers and chainsaws, and we were a Snapper dealer. This machine belonged to a gentleman that lived right up the road from me. I think I talked about this in another video. I used to service this machine. I serviced it several times. Eventually, the motor got tired on it. He ran it out of oil one day, and that was basically the end of it. He run it, the motor tightened up, and as far as I can remember, he never used it again after that. It burned quite a lot of oil. He traded the machine in at the shop up there, and it got pushed out back and left there. And there it sat for 30 years right out in the elements. We never did fix it. It was about 15 years old at that point in time. So it really wasn't worth anything. What changed my mind about this, I brought it in here last fall and I'm looking at it and I'm like, holy crap, is that thing in bad shape. It's really, really ugly looking. But the more I looked the machine over, I was finding very minimal wear on this thing. The deck lift mechanism's in good condition. The bearings in the blade mandrel are in good condition. I tore the whole entire transmission apart, and the transmission was in relatively good condition considering it sat unused for 30 years. It was, I had to replace a couple of pieces inside the sliding chain case because of rust. The thing got full of water, sitting right out in the elements. For what had happened is the boots deteriorated on the sliding chain case, and it allowed water to get in there, and that's what wrecked it. But other than that, there's very little wear to this thing. So I cleaned everything up, degreased everything, inspected everything, and repaired all the damage that I could repair, put new bushings and everything, and I'm putting it back together. And the hardest part was getting the thing cleaned up and getting it de-rusted. But, you know, it's a pretty neat thing here. I mean, that I can actually put my hands on something that I had my hands on 30 years ago. That's kind of neat to me. Something that most mechanics don't ever get a chance to do. And the most ironic part is the engine that I have over there to put on this thing is an 11 horsepower industrial commercial engine, which is going to be a pretty significant upgrade for this. This had an old standard duty aluminum cool bore 8 horsepower Briggs flathead on it, which probably only has 300 or 400 hours on it. I don't think that guy up the road has more than a quarter of an acre of grass, so it probably doesn't really have any time on it. It just, the thing's burned oil and it got neglected. He didn't check the oil in it apparently. But as you can see, I'm on derelicting the thing. I have new tires and I'm in the process of replacing everything. The biggest obstacle that I'm going to have so far is that seat. That seat is completely and entirely shot. It's all full of rust holes. Cover's just as hard as a rock. And Snapper has decided to discontinue them. Now there was a nice looking replacement that I believe Oregon made it. The Oregon Aftermarket Company, and I think they've even discontinued that. I searched around the other day and I couldn't find one. So if any of you guys got a seat you want to sell to me that's in really nice shape for one of these, hit me up in the comment section. Maybe we could strike a deal. But, so yeah, my motivation's pretty simple. You know, this machine's not valuable. It'll never be very valuable, I doubt. I mean, it's not anything obscure. It's not anything special. It's just a standard duty 30083. But it just happens to be a machine that I worked on when I was, you know, a really young man, and that's why I wanted to fix it up. Nobody's ever really criticized me for it. One of my friends that watches my YouTube channel said, "Holy cow, that thing's a piece of garbage." And it's like, yeah, well, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, I guess. So, well, anyways, I guess that's all I wanted to talk about here. My nice sunny day here turned into a rainy, cold day. So, I'll go back in the house. Guys, have a good one.